Hello everyone and welcome to Craftworks. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make this card. Credit for this goes to a Canadian demonstrator called Tamara, and when I saw this I just thought this was really good use of the designer series paper, because you use so little of it, it's going to go a really long way. And this card is so easy, but it's really pretty. So if you, like me, have quite a lot of cards to make this year for family and friends, then this one put on your list to make, because this is really cool and I just think it's really pretty. So first up, I'm just going to move that to one side. The products I'm using today are the Stylish Shape dies, and I'm actually using this circle die here, and what I've done is I've cut a piece of our acetate window sheet with that, so I'll just pop those to one side. And then using the Hollyberry dies, I've used this one, which gives us the detailed gold holly leaf, and this is the biggest of the two dies. And then I have, pop that out of the way, I've got a regular card blank in basic white with a basic white layer, which is cut 1/4 inch right the way round. And then I've got a 3x3 piece of this designer series paper. I think this is called Boughs of Holly, and I will be using the Christmas wishes from this stamp set. So the first thing I'm going to do is this piece here I'm going to cut in 1/2 inch strips, but I need to keep all of the pieces as I cut them so that the pattern will continue. So that's one. Two. Now you will find that you have pieces left over, because I've actually been a bit generous with this cutting, if I'm honest. Could probably get away with a 2.5 inch sheet, 2.5 by 2.5, because we're going to have a space in between. And then this piece. So this here is our acetate strip, and I found this in my craft box. I have no idea where it came from. I'm just going to put a bit of scrap down to save this. Right. That's our first piece down. And then our second piece. Now I'm just going to try and do it by eye, keep an even gap right the way through. I'm home alone today. My son is on his driving lesson. My husband is working. And I keep convincing myself that there's somebody in the house. So you will not believe how many times I've run down the stairs and there is nobody in the house. It is just me. So now what I've done is I've actually locked myself in the house. Yes. There we go. So now I'm just going to get the piece of acetate off of here. And this piece. See, we've got a spare, which you could have used on another project, but I've just put it in the bin. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut around the acetate. In my first draft of this, I actually tried to cut the acetate and the DSP together, and it did not work. It was too thick. So it doesn't actually take very long to snip it off. That's interesting, that bit moved, but it doesn't matter, you're not going to see that piece anyway. Now I'm just going to pick up all of these pieces here and pop them in my bin. So what we're going to do next is we're going to add dimensionals to the back so this stands up. So you might want to trim these down. As you get to the edge, because you don't really want to see them. So you can see I'm using quite a lot, but that's because I don't want it to sag. And then we're going to add dimensionals to this piece too, but I want to save that bit because it's not all going to fit on there, and again I want to hide where I don't want it. Now I would always tell you to stamp first, and today is no different. But as I've already peeled the backing off, I'm just going to wing it and we'll see how it goes. Famous last words. And so I'm going to be putting glue on this side and dimensionals on this side. Okay. So I am snipping my dimensionals so this piece I can see, so I'm going to peel it back and snip it off and pop it in the bin, and I'm going to do the same just with this edge as well. Like that. And then I want a tiny piece here. So glue, and I'm not gluing on this top point here. Okay, I'm leaving this top point free of glue. I'm just going to dot tiny bits of glue on this edge. So I think the camera is picking that up. And now I'm going to peel off my backings. And I'm just going to layer this across like that. So now I need my stamp. I am using Christmas Wishes. Memento black ink. And I'm just going to get that straight on here. A little bit of bling. These are the red and green adhesive backed pearls. You can see that there's also silver and gold. I've not used any of the silvers, so that's my next mission. Is to make a card using the silver pieces. Make sure your card is opening the right way round before you stick this piece down. Do you know, I opened a brand new glue and I can't find it. This down nice and straight, and there we have our finished card. How cool is that? Here's the one I made earlier. You can see this is the one that I tried to die cut, so I've got a few raggedy edges where it's kind of peeling off, so that's why I've done it this way round. I do like the edging, the little dotty bits that the die gives us, the detail, but unfortunately it just will not cut properly. So there we are. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's a beautiful bright day, and I'm hoping that this is going to come out really well in camera. Thanks again. Bye.